Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast. Is this Comic-Con edition, or are we just going to talk about something that's at Comic-Con?
Well, a little bit of both, because now that Comic-Con is in full swing, we'll probably be doing more Comic-Con. And we may even do a live episode of Comic-Con. We did that last year, just did an overview of all the trailers, because this is where all the big movies come to unveil their new movies. And their big trailers. And
last year we went to Comic-Con and interviewed all the celebrities. Did we do that, or am I dreaming?
We did not do that.
Oh, okay.
Definitely did. I wish we could. It's such a madhouse there. It's almost,
yeah, it is.
You have to pick like one movie or show you're interested in, because you won't get anything else. It's almost impossible. It's ridiculous. But we'll watch it from afar, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So today is a big deal, because this is one of the first Indian movies to ever be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi Indian film, which is very rare, and a serious dystopian sci-fi movie. And it stars Prabhas, which is he's just in everything huge. He's in all the big movies. You just can't even avoid the guy. And I think he's sort of trying to make up for, Adi Parash. But we'll forgive him for that for now.
And is he or is he not actually in person present at Comic-Con?
And he is at Comic-Con, which is crazy. Oh, just think he's only a couple hours away from us right now.
I know. He could swing by and do the podcast. I have a surprise for you.
Hey, Prabhas. Is he being shy?
Making coffee. He's making a cup of coffee. He's got to sort of hurry, because he has to run and be at Comic-Con, and he's got to be there in like 3 minutes.
He's got to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Be that way, Prabhas. This is originally called Project K. No one knew what it was about. No one knew what it was called. It's directed by Nag Ashwin, and they have unveiled it at Comic-Con. Not only the trailer, the title, and all the stars, and the whole project is now unveiled. We now know a lot about it.
It's a full-on science fiction.
We got to see
dystopian thing. Okay, I want to see it.
Apparently, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it stars Prabhas, Deepika, Pudakone, Amitabh Bachchan, who's been in everything, Kamal Haasan, Disha Patani. I mean, it's got tons of people in it, and they describe it as epic, mythology-inspired sci-fi spectacular set in the future.
Oh, okay.
It sounds very.
So it sounds like
Project
K. It sounds like hence its presence at the Comic-Con. Any film. If you can make a film and go to Comic-Con, and you have characters in that film that people can later dress up as, the cosplay thing. That's sort of a key, I think. If you have a recognizable character costume, or a look of a character that you can, later when the film becomes huge, you can go to Comic-Con dressed as this character.
That's right.
People will take selfies with you,
Continual free advertising, because they'll do it over and over again. We'll have to look at this with an eye toward the Comic-Con cosplay aspect. So we'll take that.
Should we roll that trailer?
Let's roll it. All right, let me get it up here. All right. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Volume up. Let's do it.
What is Project K?
just answer. Tell us. What is Project K? Just tell us. So even
What
in
is it?
the trailer, they won't tell us.
I know. But it has something to do with something is going on with his eyes, I think, right?
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell
Like
because
he's
it
a
seemed like
super
they showed some eyes opening. Like, is he a robot? Is he possessed? Is he?
Yeah. But he
We
looks like
don't
he's
know,
got
do
some
we?
sort of technology. That's the cool thing. It's got that mythological look, that kind of, like you were saying, the word dystopian, which means that the whole world has gone to hell and people are trying to survive.
Yeah.
And it does have that color palette of the dystopia and the ever burning fires in the background that we always see in a dystopian science fiction film. The fires that nobody can put out, and people that have bits and pieces of old stuff, and new stuff mixed in. Like you've got like ragged sort of robes and old fashioned armor type stuff, but then it also has like high tech bits and pieces on it that suggests that there's some other technology. It looked a little bit like he had some kind of powered boots or something that that sort of had retro rockets that helped him stop there. And I see some weapons in there and some vehicles. It looked like there's some sort of technological hybridism going on in this film. It's kind of cool.
I almost wonder if we should look at it again because that was very short, and I feel like there was.
I know I'm going to watch it again afterwards, but
it does look really cool, and his armor was very cool looking. He goes head all exposed.
Yeah, I mean, shoot the head.
Heads are harder to hit, I guess. They're smaller.
Yeah. They can move around like that. If somebody shoots a bullet at your head, just go like that, and you can,
Exactly. Well, I guess there's darkness. I get the main thing we get is all dark, right? So
yes,
plants can't grow, so people are probably gonna starve. And it looks like someone needs to come and turn on the lights, and it looks like it's gonna be us. Just guessing. That's a copy line. Someone's got to turn on the lights.
Someone turned off the lights, and now someone has to turn the lights back on.
I can't wait to see that movie. Someone turning on the lights. But it does look really fun and epic. I mean, it looks like they're kind of pulling it off. I mean, I would like to know who Prabhas is supposed to be. It says it's based mythologically inspired, so he could be another god.
Well, a lot of things are mythologically inspired. All superhero stories, basically, you could say, are mythologically inspired. They're all based on
godlike powers,
godlike character. Yeah, like the Epic of Gilgamesh. Go back and read that, and it's like you're reading you're reading the origin of Captain America and Iron Man. And it's mythology. I mean, a super being that comes and saves people. It's Dune. It's so many things like that. So that's sort of built in with hero epics like this. But one thing that was kind of cool that we've seen countless Indian action films, action, the sort of revenge epics that we've seen a lot of, and the tons of fights and all those sort of tropes of the fights that we see. And this one kind of looks a little bit like it's taking another step in a different direction away from that.
Yeah.
Like there's, the technological part of it. A lot of the, I mean, like when you see something like John Wick or something, American type film like that, it's kind of science fiction. It's got like one half of your foot stepped into science fiction world.
That's true. Yeah.
Certain little things. But this one is fully science fiction because there's people looking at floating holographic interfaces.
Yeah, it's set in the future for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, nobody called me to do that stuff, those special effects for them. So a little disappointed.
Damn it! You got to get out there, Burk. You got to send them your reel.
Yeah.
So
maybe I will.
You should do it. We have posters. Now this one's kind of interesting.
Cool.
I'll show this. What this is that they were originally released the poster on the right.
Right. Okay.
Project K. Called Project K. Apparently, they got a lot of shit for it for some reason. They said people didn't, and it does look like a head strip. I agree. It's definitely a head strip. We saw this scene in the movie, but it looked like he was flopped. It looked like he was facing the other way in the movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic Marvel landing. Like he's flying and he landed.
Right. So then they released the image on the left is the most current. So they redid the head strip. He's not looking at camera, and they gave him a little bit more neck. But to me, it almost looks more head strippy because he's fully 4-color, but everything else is kind of gold tone. So I feel like in a way, if they brought the treatment that they have on the right, the gold through the whole thing, it would look more convincing to me. But apparently this was their improvement on the poster.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
It's interesting they react to what people say in the social media and stuff like that, because I don't know how many times that's ever happened to an American poster besides if there was something offensive on it. It's kind of interesting, the power they listen to the people, which is interesting.
And with posters, I mean, you hear about that happening with movies where they'll have control groups and people will say, I really like the movie, but I don't like the fact that he called her that name, or said something mean to somebody. He was too mean to her or something. And then they'll go back and re-edit and, if they'll get the reports back, everybody who watches it writes out a little report. And if they get, 20 people saying, I didn't like that part where he smashed into the tree, or whatever,
But that all happens before it's released usually. So it's like here, like they do massive testing. Once they do a poster, they send like 3 versions and they have people give their opinions on it, and it gets, revised and finessed until everyone that they show to mostly likes it. But by the time it gets out to social media, they never change it after that. It's like, it's just kind of a done deal. So this is it's unique, and I like that, people can have a say in some of the marketing. It's very interesting.
Well, as designers, you and I both know that there's a gauntlet of people who, whenever you design something and you show them, look what I did, it goes through a whole bunch of different people who are like, I don't know, I think we should change this, and
constant.
And everybody has to put their fingerprint on it, and in some cases, and
that's right.
It's interesting to add into that mix, to add the general public into that mix too. It's almost like crowdsourcing your design in a way where you ultimately end up with a poster that everyone loves.
And what's so weird, the poster they changed, I'm sure it went through the same gauntlet. 1 million people had to approve it. I'm sure Prabhas had to approve it. Everyone had to look at it, and then they changed it. So that was very interesting. We also have this. I haven't seen the close-up Prabhas character cell. This will be like a character cell that came out. So it's a beautiful shot of her. So
it's a headshot, but it looks very Dune color palette and the costume.
Same halo light behind them, like in this, a little halo behind him. Yeah, a little halo behind her.
But this shot of her is beautiful and everything, but it does not say anything about the film. It doesn't say anything about
this is a teaser.
This is just if you know who she is, you're like, oh, I like her. I want to see this movie.
Yeah. So this is kind of like what they were doing to promote this glimpse. And then there's like a little
bit. Go back to that other one for a sec.
A little skyline down there.
There's a little futuristic skyline in the background, but it's almost covered up by the What Is Project K.
I know. They should have moved that skyline up just a tad.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. And then there's just a little teaser poster, I think, when it was just sort of basically being announced. So I just thought I'd throw this in here. They probably didn't even know what it was at this point because it looks very nebulous. It just shows like an eye, and that's it. This is like about people joining.
It's like a wedding invitation.
Yeah, it's very classy. Yeah. So, but this is the vibe now. We're going for this. And
yes.
I liked more atmosphere. I don't know what people are getting all bent about, but there you go.
The busted rocks and stuff. It's an Iron Man landing, and it's cool. It's
the other poster looks a lot finished to me. I don't know. But see, I'm another opinion. Like I would have been like one of those opinions going, I think there should be more rocks.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling they're going to do another poster for this.
Oh, they definitely will. These are just teasers.
Because it's the movie, the trailer that we saw has so much cool looking stuff in it.
So much cool stuff
that could be in a poster. And I think that Iron Man landing image is a little bit, I don't know. Do people think, I'd like to know, do you think that is a cliche at this point, that pose? Because we saw it in the trailer when he lands and he lands in that pose, and it does that make people go, oh, come on, do your own pose, you know what I mean? Or does it?
I think it's iconic. I think
is it iconic? Is it entered into the lexicon of iconic imagery at this point?
And also, how many ways you gonna land cool? That's really the only way. So
yeah,
it's gonna fall out of the sky and land, how are you going to do that besides,
believe it or not, I've been involved in discussions about that, or not involved, not with, not to the point where I was making decisions, but I've heard discussions about how a character should land. I worked on a Marvel show where we had a character who could fly, and there was a discussion about how she lands. Do we want it to look like the Marvel landing, the Iron Man landing, or do we want her to have her own type of, does she land like this or like this, or it's weird. It's like, because that's the poster image. When you have somebody landing after they fly, that's a pose that's iconic because they just appeared on the scene. Here I am, I've arrived.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for action. And that is your poster image, So if you can come up with an iconic landing pose for your superhero, that's right. That's a good option for your poster design.
That's right. And remember that. Here, I pulled it up again. We can hold on. I just want to see that landing again. So we'll take a quick look at it.
You got it you have it in the
yeah, I have it scrolled in. Just real quick. Because it's going to be fast. All right. So let's take a quick look at it.
Yeah, it's very quick. There he is.
Yeah. So he they didn't show him actually land. He's already on the ground.
Yeah. But it's
interesting. So he's in the poster, he's kind of facing a little bit more toward the left. This is more like he's facing more to the right. Interesting. So I just thought I'd look at that again. There is hero poster.
Because this is the Iron Man pose, that we all know and love. Let me put this up here. Hold on. Let's see if I can add this really quickly.
Okay. It's a good pose. I mean, everybody looks good doing it.
Yeah. It's like, that's the Iron Man. That's the classic Iron Man pose.
It sure is.
And then this is our dude.
That's pretty much it. Arm up and everything. Yep. He nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed the Iron Man pose. All right. So it's sort of dystopian sci-fi with a superhero glint in it.
Yeah, and it actually looks really fun. It looks cool.
It does look really fun.
I don't want to rag too much on the Iron Man pose, but the film, it looks, I mean, I go for the special effects. I start looking at the special effects. Mm-hmm. There is a history of science fiction films that come out that have questionable special effects. Mm-hmm. And I've seen that so much, and you kind of go, okay, this is a studio trying to make something that has the look of science fiction, or they're trying to appeal to science fiction people, but they don't really have an understanding of those kind of that type of world building, because there's so much effort and work involved in building a world, especially a science fiction world, because nothing exists in our world. We can't just go. Like I always say, if a character in a science fiction movie wants to use a pen or a pencil, you can't just have them pick up a ballpoint pen that you bought at the 7-Eleven. It needs to be a science fiction pen, right? Yeah. Futuristic. But it also has to fit the world. It has to read as a pen.
That's right.
But this movie, just from the trailer, this movie looks like it has a really well-built world. The props in it look really good. The vehicles, the armor, the shapes and the designs and the type of special effects not overdone. Like I mentioned his rocket boots, that little jet effect on his boots looked really cool. I thought that was really nice. Cool. And there was a shot of somebody using a holographic interface, which is something that I would have done if I worked on the film. So I'm looking, I zero in on that, and I'm like, that looks cool. They did it. They did it right. It looks tough and cool. That's cool. It has a really super cool look to it. So I hope it's cool. I hope it's a good movie.
I hope it is too. I'm rooting for it. And that was our first, this Kalki, I assume it's pronounced Kalki 2898 AD is our first ComicCon trailer that we're reviewing. Ta-da!
Yes.
There it is.
ComicCon,
it's and they're there promoting it. Very big deal. So it's very cool.
Happening just a little south of where we are here in Los Angeles, and we are not there.
I know. It's just so hard to be there. It's 1 billion degrees. So you walking around that. Anyway.
I know.
All right. So thanks for checking this out. And if you have any opinions on Kalki 289080, let us know. And be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We love it when you guys subscribe. We love it.
Yeah, we do.
And check out some of our swag. We're getting some new shirts in. We have lots of different languages. We have some new designs. We're starting to ramp up all of our designs in the t-shirt shop. So check it out at our spread shop. And you can see links.
The merch is good too. It's not that cheesy stuff that some people
really good.
sell you. You know, it's like I actually wear this. This is my. Oh yeah, you got what language is that?
Don't ask me that.
This is Thai. This is the language of my wife. So I wear this hat. So it's and we have all different languages, different.
We do. We have a bunch of different languages and shirts and hats and mugs. And check it out.
They all say Cinnamando. I have Thai people.
That's what you need. Everybody needs the Cinnamando logo.
Cinnamando hat. That's cool.
What is it? So check us out, and we'll see you guys later.
Take care, everybody.